The last few days, there was supposed to be a party at the White House for the Philadelphia Eagles football team, I think, that won the Super Bowl last year, and but they changed their mind. They say there's something going on, and then the president got very upset with this. Then at the end, they said they're going to send 10 people, and he said just forget about it. This is the pro football champions were supposed to meet at the White House, and all this was supposed to take place the last few days. You know, and a lot of our players, professional football players, you know, they're coming up with different stories, you know, about kneeling down. That Capaccio, he started 2 years ago. Before the game, he said he wasn't saluting to the flag and he wasn't singing. He was down on one knee rather than standing up straight. And that's when the fighting started. And now the Pro Football League says, look, the people that want to sit down on one knee, let them stay in the dressing room until after the game starts, and the rest of them come out and they can salute the flag. You know, it sounds like this is real different, strange, but you know, there are only about 20 countries, and I'm going to read them to you, countries that pledge allegiance to their flag before a sporting event. So I'm going to run over them real quick. Norway, Iceland, Sweden, New Zealand, Denmark, Canada, Ireland, Australia, Switzerland, Finland, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Germany, United Kingdom, Austria, Mauritius, Malta, Uruguay, Spain, and South Korea. All of those countries pledge allegiance to their flag before sporting events. So I mean, what is the big deal with the Philadelphia Eagles? That's worldwide. And you know, this football thing is getting a little tougher than it was, and from what I hear, our attendance is down about 20% to the pro games from what it was before. And really, this football is so rough. It's so rough. I mean, you just can't imagine. Like, I have 4 grandchildren in New York City. Do any of them play football? No. They play soccer and tennis. Now, I played football. I played football and baseball. I played football at Clemson on a scholarship, and it's been a few years ago, but football has a problem, a big problem, and I don't know how we're going to get out of it without changing the whole setup, because when you play football now, you're going to get hit in the head. The tackles and guards, a lot of them are 350 pounds. The halfbacks, like I was, are maybe 180, 190, and they hit you in the head, and they're going to hurt you. They do hurt you, and they hit you hard. You can't imagine how hard it is. You can't imagine. I was supposed to block this end one time, so I went up to him, boom, he hit me in the head. I went straight down. So then, you know, then I started moving around because we had another plane. I was going back into the huddle, and I thought I was walking back into the huddle, but I was crawling on my knees from that hit in the head. It was so strong and so powerful. And a lot of these people, especially around the country, I don't know if this pro football is going to be going forever, because when these children play it and they get hurt, and frankly, that's one reason why my grandchildren aren't playing it. I could be pushing them to play football. No. If they want to play soccer and tennis, you know, at least I know they're not going to get hurt. Now, you can start getting hurt when you start playing in 10, 12. Then you move to high school football. The people get a little rougher. But in college and pros, you can't imagine. How do we know if you have brain damage? We don't know. They say the only way they can tell for certain is you have to die. And then they take your brain out and they start working on it. Like that end that died for the New England Patriots lately. He was killed in jail. They said, oh, he had brain damage real bad. How did you know that? Because he died and they took his head apart and they took out the brain. That's the only way you can know what type of brain damage you have and how bad it is. Like, I know I got hit in the head. I got hit in the head a lot. And I'm probably crazy from it, but your brain can only take so much, you know? And then as you get older, like a lot of these older pro football players right now, they're in a big lawsuit. I'm talking about good players. They're in a big lawsuit. They're trying to get money for brain damage. And a lot of our top pro players previously are in that suit. I don't want to go over it right now. It's been in the papers. But, and those people will tell you brain damage. I know I have some brain damage myself. I mean, if a guy hits me in the head and I get knocked down and I think I'm walking to the house and I'm crawling back on my knees, that's what happened. That's brain damage, some type of damage. I'm not a doctor, and I don't, but there is a problem there. And then after a while, as you get older, first you don't recognize people. You don't recognize. Saw a guy the other day. I know him well. Couldn't tie up his face to where we met before, and I know he was mad because now you could say maybe that happened because you had brain damage. Maybe it did. I'm not saying I had it bad. I probably wouldn't be standing here, but I know I had it. And the only way you can tell how bad it is, from what I've been reading and studying, is you have to die, or they cut your head open and they take out your brain and they look at it and they study it. So a lot of football thing, a lot of these football players, they want to lay on the ground. They don't want to salute the flag like all the other countries do around the world. But our people are only going to take it so long. I know the president's mad and a lot of other people are mad. They're real mad. But don't think you could keep getting hit in the head, and then all these people sitting on the ground, they want treatment like this Colapinos, the quarterback that sat on the ground. Nobody will give him a job. Nobody will hire him to play football. But this is a serious problem, and what Trump brought up the last few days, and he was arguing and yelling about these people were coming to the White House, and then it was canceled. Good. That's one thing. But I'm talking about the main thing with this pro football. It's not going to the White House for a party. It's brain damage. That's all we have today. Thank you.